What happens when a TV show is built around a man who can become anyone, yet doesn't know who he really is? Out of secret experiments and stolen childhoods came a series about a genius raised as a tool who escapes and uses his gift to seek justice. So how did this idea grow into one of the most entertaining shows of the 90s? Let's find out. This is the history of The Pretender. The idea for the show came from creators Stephen Long Mitchell and Craig W. Van Sickle. They were interested in a simple question: what if a person could be anything but was never allowed to be himself? That came from two real-world ideas. One was Ferdinand Demara, a real-life figure known for successfully posing as doctors, teachers, and other professionals without formal training. The other was a Cold War-era intelligence program, sometimes referred to as the Genius Project, where gifted children were educated normally in the mornings and pushed into extreme problem-solving scenarios in the afternoons. When they pitched the concept, it was framed as a hybrid, a man on the run combined with shifting identity and moral intervention. Mitchell and Van Sickle also designed the series to be accessible first. Viewers were meant to understand an episode without knowing the full mythology. The fugitive structure carried each story, while the larger questions of identity and origin unfolded slowly in the background. From that came Jared, a child genius raised by a private research organization called the Center. He would be trained through endless simulations to predict human behavior and become what is known as a pretender, a person with the ability to become whoever he wants. And I'm not talking about X-Men style abilities or shape-shifting or anything like that. This ain't the Avengers. Each episode would place Jared into a new profession: a surgeon, a pilot, a marshal, and so many more. By the end of the first season, Jared had more career experience than most people have LinkedIn connections. With the story in place, next was the casting. Michael T. Weiss was cast as Jared. At the time, he was best known for his work on Days of Our Lives. Andrea Parker was, funnily enough, cast as Miss Parker. Her casting altered the structure of the series, as early versions of the role were male. After Andrea's audition, that all changed. Patrick Bushaw was cast as Dr. Sidney Green, Jared's former mentor and the center's resident psychologist. His performance emphasized Sidney's internal conflict as the character balanced loyalty to the center with genuine concern for Jared. John Grise joined the cast as Brutes, the center's computer specialist. The casting for flashbacks was also important. Ryan Merriman portrayed young Jared and appeared in scenes that illustrated the impact of his childhood at the center. As the series progressed, additional characters were introduced to the series. James Denton joined the cast in Season 2 as Mr. Lyle. His character added another layer to the organization and contributed to the growing complexity of the center's internal structure. Music played a key role in establishing the atmosphere of The Pretender. The series used its score to support suspense and emotional moments throughout each episode. The primary composer for the series was Velton Ray Bunch. He scored dozens of episodes and became closely associated with the musical identity of the series. The main title theme changed over time. The second season introduced a new main title, which was used until the end of Season 3, when the main theme changed again. Velton Ray Bunch's work on the series received industry recognition. In 2000, he earned an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Main Title Theme Music, shared with Mark Leggett. A soundtrack album titled The Pretender, the original television score, was released in 2001. The album featured music from the series, including variations of the main theme and selected cues used throughout the show.
I was taken from my family.
36,000. He's already demonstrating more talent than any of our others.
The Pretender premiered on NBC in September '96. The network gave the show a strong launch, airing the pilot on a Thursday night before moving it to its regular Saturday slot. Early critical response was mixed but engaged. Some critics described the format as derivative, pointing out similarities to earlier chase dramas. Audience response during the first season was steady. Viewership was strong enough to justify a renewal, and the series quickly developed a dedicated audience. The Saturday night placement grouped The Pretender with other suspense-driven shows. It was basically NBC saying, if you like crime, paranoia, and unresolved mystery, Saturday night is sorted for you. Now, as the series continued, viewer engagement deepened. The show's mix of standalone stories and slow-burn mythology appealed to viewers who enjoyed ongoing mysteries without requiring full continuity each week. Production of the series began with the pilot episode, which was filmed in Toronto, Canada, but when the show moved to a full series, it moved to Los Angeles. Interior sets for the center were constructed on sound stages, while on-location filming across Southern California was used to represent different settings required by the weekly stories. The creators remained closely involved in the day-to-day production. They frequently wrote season premieres and finales and maintained a strong presence in shaping the series as it developed. Michael T. Weiss performed some of his own physical work on the series. This included some action-heavy scenes that required preparation and coordination, adding to the authenticity of Jared's weekly transformations. At the same time, NBC pushed the show to remain accessible to viewers. This led to a balance between self-contained episodes and the ongoing mythology, with larger mysteries introduced gradually so it didn't alienate new audiences. The production also worked within budget limitations. Despite these constraints, the production team used locations and sets creatively to maintain variety.
How many people died because of what I thought up?
Since I broke out, I've spent every moment searching.
By the end of its fourth season, The Pretender found itself in a vulnerable position at NBC. While the series maintained a loyal audience, its ratings were no longer strong enough to protect it within the network's broader strategy. NBC was rethinking its Saturday night schedule and moving away from scripted genre programming in that slot. In other words, loyalty and long-term storytelling were no longer part of the business plan. As a result, NBC cancelled the show at the end of season 4. The cancellation sparked an immediate and organized fan response. Viewers mobilized through online communities, letter-writing campaigns, and petitions aimed at NBC and the show's production studio. Fans expressed frustration at the unresolved ending and pushed for continuation or closure. Sustained audience demand drew attention from TNT, which had been airing reruns of the series. As a result, the franchise was revived in the form of 2 made-for-television movies. These films were produced to continue the story after the series cancelled, addressing storylines that had been left unresolved when the network ended the show. The first TV movie aired in January 2001, followed by the second movie later that year. While the movies continued the story, they didn't fully resolve it. No further television films were produced, leaving the franchise without a definitive on-screen conclusion. Despite this, the movies became a key part of the show's post-cancellation identity and reinforced its status as a fan-supported series rather than a network-abandoned one. Beyond television, the creators continued the franchise through officially sanctioned novels. In 2013, they released The Pretender: Rebirth, followed by The Pretender: Saving Luke in 2014. These books served as a narrative continuation, allowing the creators to revisit unresolved elements while remaining accessible to new readers. The series' fan community remained active for years. Online groups, fan sites, and forums sustained discussions around the series, its characters, and its unresolved mythology. The creators acknowledged this support and maintained contact with fans through interviews, appearances, and online interaction. Cast members also continued to engage with the show's audience. Actors, including Andrea Parker and John Grise, appeared at conventions and fan events where they discussed the series and shared behind-the-scenes stories. In 2013, the creators organized an online reunion event with fans, demonstrating the continued interest in the property more than a decade after its cancellation.
Searching for my past.
He's a pretender. A genius who can become anyone that he wants to be.
All 4 seasons of The Pretender were released on DVD by 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, making the complete series available outside of broadcast television. The two follow-up television movies were later released together on DVD, allowing fans to own the full televised story. For viewers who want to add the series to their collection, I've added a link in the description below, and there should be a card popping up on screen to help you check it out. Over time, the series has become a classic. Its blend of standalone stories, ongoing mystery, and a protagonist driven by moral responsibility has left a lasting impression. And we're not done yet. Next time, we're diving into a Crime Time After Prime Time series. Until then, why don't you check out our previous video on Matt Houston. Thanks for watching, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.